Well, buried in the busy week in D.C. is a story school districts across the country are trying to plan, which is not an easy task. Billions of dollars set to go out on July 1st. That would be last week. Well, it didn't go out. The Trump administration says they want to study where that money is really going. It's a continuation of diversity, equity, and inclusion crusades. So how does this impact the Gem State? Percentage-wise, Idaho is one of the most impacted states. The freeze for the Gem State includes about $36.5 million. Research and data from the Learning Policy Institute shows that is about 16.5% of all funding from the U.S. Department of Education for K-12 in our state. It isn't just a random dollar amount. The freezes are grants across specific programs. 5 laid out specifically, listed by their government names. These include migrant education, English language acquisition, ELA, and before and after school programs. Here's the actual message education departments in each state received, and they actually received the same message for each impacted grant. It reads, given the change in administration, the department is reviewing the fiscal year 2025 funding for the grant program, and decisions have not yet been made concerning submissions and awards for this upcoming academic year. So accordingly, the department will not be issuing grant award notifications, obligating funds for these programs on July 1st prior to completing that review. So you got to wait. The department remains committed to ensuring taxpayer resources are spent in accordance with the president's priorities and the department's statutory responsibilities. There's concern, though, in education circles about the funding for 2025 because the federal Department of Education has already proposed cutting them altogether beginning in 2026. Simply put, it's explained in the budget proposal. Just one example, a program for migrant education was funded for hundreds of millions of dollars, but has a budget request for zero in 2026. The administration says this program has not been proven effective and encourages ineligible non-citizens to access taxpayer dollars, stripping resources from American students. The same goes for ELA funding. The budget says parents, states, and localities, or not the federal government that is, are best suited to determine what evidence-based literacy instructional materials will improve outcomes. Education leaders in Idaho hopeful that money that is frozen will soon be available. Idaho's Superintendent of Public Instruction, Debbie Critchfield, told us today, historically, these federal funds have been authorized by Congress and made available by July 1st. This year, that distribution was paused. We're hopeful we will know the timeline for distribution sooner rather than later, as decisions are being made for the upcoming school year. In the meantime, we've encouraged local districts and charters to review any carryover funding that may help support the programs in question, as we will continue to communicate with our local schools as we receive additional information from D.C. And we reached out to a number of stakeholders with questions about how they will pay for things impacted. Still waiting for some definitive answers.